What's up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We're back with the latest episode of the Team Building Podcast, where you learn how to build a dominant real estate team in your market. We've got the man, the myth, the legend, Jeff Cohn is here, and we are off the chain. We have no guest today. We're going to go super deep on how to run a monthly recruiting event in your office to attract people to join your team, people from all over your city, all over your market. So we're just going to have fun, go for 20, 25 minutes on how to run and execute this event. So I know this is going to be a fun episode. Jeff Cohn, what is up today?
What's up, Matt Johnson? Hey, this is going to be a great one. You guys hold on to your pants. It's going to get crazy. The top 3 pillars of building and scaling. Did you hit a drum just now?
No, my mic.
Was there like a drum hit just now? That'd be amazing.
There was no drum hit. Sorry.
Okay. So the top 3 pillars of building and scaling a successful real estate business individually, with a team, or as a broker owner. Number 1 is recruiting. Number 2, retaining by offering value. And number 3 is continual training. And so today we're going to talk about that first pillar, recruiting. It's something that nobody hardly ever does intentionally. It's kind of one of those organic efforts where agents just come. I hear a lot of people say their biggest challenge with recruiting is that they have too many people wanting to join their organization and they're always turning people away, which always seems a little ridiculous to me. I'm like, well, build a wheel that'll allow all those people to plug in as long as they're the right fit. But our focus today won't be about culture fit and who the right people are, as much as a process that has been working really well for me, a process that I know Frank Klesitz at Viral Marketing has been training a big group of followers there as well. And that's in regards to what we like to call monthly training meetings or monthly mastermind meetings. So what we did, Matt, is we first defined the group of agents we wanted to recruit, who we wanted to go after, but we didn't want them to know that our intention was to recruit them. We really wanted to pay it forward in our community and create a mastermind page where real estate agents could come together across brokerage brands and share ideas, share book recommendations, and maybe even meet monthly at each other's offices. So what I did was I chose every agent that had sold less than 15 units the year before, became the audience. And in my market, that was about 800 agents. And I sent out a personal Facebook message, and I say I loosely. I had my virtual assistant send out a personal Facebook message inviting each of these individuals. You only can send out about 50 a day, but inviting each of these individuals to join this Omaha's Elite Real Estate Mastermind group. All of you listening, you can go join it. It's open source. It's Omaha's Elite Real Estate Mastermind on Facebook. So you can go in and see all the content that's on there. So we sent out all those invites. Then we did targeted Facebook ads to that exact same audience. So they got the invite from me, and then they saw a Facebook ad that ran for a few months trying to get all those people to join. And not everyone joined from the text. Not everyone joined from the ad that popped up. But we had a huge following. Like, I think 600 people in 2 months joined this Facebook page. So my first event was at my office, and I simply piggybacked one of my team's trainings, any of the team trainings that I do. So I do listing presentation, buyer presentation, negotiation. I have one called Big Picture. So ultimately, all I did was invited this list of 800 people to come out and attend one of my team's trainings. But we called it a team mastermind training, or simply a mastermind training. And I would explain to everyone, you can read on that Facebook page, I've opened this group up to anyone. Anyone can come to my office anytime for team trainings, but this is the one time a month that we really make it a big show or a big production. The word recruiting never gets used. In any of the messaging, when they're at my physical office, we don't recruit anyone verbally. But a handful of people, we usually get about 10 people in attendance, and 1 or 2 people indefinitely will just come up to us and say, hey, do you guys have opportunities to join this team? Like, what's it all about? What are my options?
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And just to clarify, so this is a page. It has almost 800 followers now. So you guys can go and essentially like the page. Was there any particular? Do you remember what the strategy was, if you recall? And Frank might have been the one that determined this, but was there any strategy with going for a page versus a group? Was it just the ability to run Facebook ads? I think it was Facebook ads.
Can you not run them on a group? That was the reason.
Yeah, you can. I don't think you can't. Yeah, you can't target them after the fact.
So this is the problem.
You can't target them to a group. Yeah.
We wanted, when we posted content, like when I would do a live stream or we posted like a really cool thing, like what book to read or something like that, we wanted everybody following us to see it. And if it was a group, they'd only like 3% of people would see that post. But if it was a page and you boosted it, everybody would see it. So that was our biggest thing, is we wanted to make sure everybody could see when we invited them to events. The other thing we're doing, Matt, during the event, we live stream into that page. So anyone that's scared to come into our office, because what are people going to say, which is retarded, but I feel like a lot of people do that. Is that PC? I can't say retarded. Um,
No, you cannot.
sorry, you guys. Anytime that happens, somebody's scared to come into my office. We tell people, hey, it's live streamed. You can go watch the recording if you want. And I'll have people all the time. Oh, so like now leading up to an event every month, once they're in that page, again, I send out a text message from Jeff Cohn. I have my virtual assistant send it out saying, hey, I hope to see you at the mastermind coming up. So once they've already joined it, now they're going to get a message every month inviting them. They're also getting a call inviting them, and we're still running Facebook ads inviting them. So this is it's like we probably spend $200 or $300 a month promoting that upcoming event, and then it's always me presenting during the event. So it sounds like complicated, but it's not. You create the page, you build your audience, send them text invites through Facebook, send them, run ads targeted to the audience that you want to have join it. Be authentic. Look at what I said in my intro. It was like, hey, I've been in the business 10 years. I'm really excited to pay it forward and share my ideas across all brokerage brands. I'd like to partner up with all of you to do the same. So, because like initially people are like, I'm not interested. I had people respond, I'm not interested in joining your team. And I'd respond back and say, this has nothing to do with joining my team. This is a mastermind where we can trade ideas. Did you read anything? Because like that was in my message I sent them. That's on the Facebook page. And then the same thing happens like when I send out these people, tons of people have joined the mastermind, 800 evidently. And we'll invite them to come to an upcoming event. And again, they'll say, I'm not interested to go to a recruiting event, or I'm not interested in being sold something. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, we're doing a panel with top teams from across brokerages on Friday that we're interviewing them live in person. Like, you can ask them questions. Like, people always are expecting it to be a recruiting thing because there's certain brokerages out there that I think have really been so aggressive with recruiting that now when other people try to do something like this, everyone just assumes it's recruiting.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense. So so run us through a little bit, because I think this is one of the things that'll probably trip people up, which is the Facebook messages from a VA. So just share a little bit on how you have the actual physical setup so that somebody can log into your Facebook account and just sit there and send 50 messages a day from your account.
Okay. Yeah, and you'll get blocked after about 50. So when you try this, you're like, oh, it doesn't work. Jeff Cohn said to do this. Well, it works. You just got to revisit it every day. Like, you only can do like 40 or 50 a day. So I create a template. It might say, insert agent name. So Matt, comma. I'm really excited about this new mastermind group I just recently started. Click the link below and like it if you'd like to be a part of it. Let me know if you have any questions. Hope you have a great day. And so then I have my virtual assistant sign in with my credentials into my Facebook page. She's in the Philippines. I pay her $1,800 a month. And she goes in every single day and she sends out a message until she gets blocked. And she does this for a lot of different things, not only just our recruiting efforts, but she'll just go in and copy and paste my message. And then when someone responds and maybe thinks I'm a bot or I'm a virtual assistant, I'm the one responding. So people all the time will be like, is this really Jeff? Or where were we last weekend? Or whatever, like to kind of call me out to see if it's really me.
Really?
And I'm the
who's responding? Where were we, Jeff, last weekend?
Like, prove that, you know what I'm saying though? Like, they're doing like code, like prove it's you. And I'm always the one that responds to that. So, yeah,
of course.
Right.
Yeah, that's the ninja tactic right there, because we do something similar. So we've got a client, Tom Caffarella, who runs a podcast out of Boston, right, the Massachusetts Real Estate Agent Mastermind. And so we'll message people on Facebook. I do the same thing. Got a VA in the Philippines that logs into my personal Facebook account, goes into the messages, sends outbound messages. One thing I will say is if you have somebody do that, not only do you need to watch the message limit, but also make sure to break up that message into 2 to 3 chunks. Jeff, this is what we did when you had your VA promote the podcast when it first launched. They put the podcast in the top 10 of management and marketing category. It was the same thing. And we had them break up that message into 2 to 3 chunks. That way it looks more authentic. And then, if you're on your phone throughout the day and you see that reply message come back in and you authentically respond, they'll never know it wasn't you that sent the message. Yeah.
Yep. Just simply using leverage
on that. Yeah. Just using
email,
leverage. Yeah.
We've done email invites as well. We have everybody on an email list that's in that mastermind page. That took some work. We had to have our virtual assistant go through every name of every person that joined on Facebook, cross-reference the MLS database to find their email address, and then we'll do a mass email inviting everybody. But emails, a Facebook message always gets looked at. An email, a lot of times if they think it's a recruiting thing or they think it's a salesy thing, they'll just get rid of it. And I know there are some brokers who block certain emails as well. So if you're using their work email address, there's brokerages that have essentially bots that will scrub what content's going into their agent, and they won't allow an email to go in that looks like it could be a recruiting email. That's something else
That's
to throw out there if you guys
interesting.
didn't know that or hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
I had
If
never
you're
heard
using
that
their
before.
email, if you're using that email, right, the broker owns the email. They can control what kind of emails their agents are receiving. Kind
That's
of
hilarious.
weird. Yep.
Underhanded. I
Kind of
like it. All
sneaky.
right, so let's. What about the direct dial invites?
Yeah, so direct dial is pretty interesting. You can do it one of a few ways. I think the best way is using Mojo Dialer, and then the team leader pre-records the voicemail. So I'd say, hey, this is Jeff Cohn. Sorry I missed you. I wanted to invite you to Friday's mastermind training. I'm really excited. We're going to be interviewing 3 top agents from across Omaha, across several different brokerage brands. It's going to be at my office at 10 a.m. I've sent you a text message. We also have it posted on the mastermind page. Please feel free to come out. You can bring a friend if you'd like. We're going to have some breakfast items. It's going to be a great time. Have a good one. Bye-bye. So I can pre-record that. I know that statistically, 1 out of every 10 dials someone answers, 9 out of 10 I get a voicemail. So you can have your virtual assistant just go in and drop voicemails on 90% of the people. Then the 10% that answer, and you can do this with slide broadcast as well or slide dial. But then the people that actually do answer the call, you then teach them a script that just says, hi, this is Dorius. I'm an assistant to Jeff Cohn. He asked me to call you and invite you to a mastermind that's coming up Friday. Can we put you down as someone we will plan on being there? Something like that.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, and this is all. I mean, this is like you said. It's not complicated to set up. It's a matter of getting those things one by one, getting the system set up, and then it just keeps compounding. So eventually, they're getting text messages, they're getting Facebook messages, they're getting emails, and they're getting direct dial or voicemail, all driving to that monthly event. And how many people are you seeing on average show up to these events in person?
Right now we're at about 10. We've had as many as 30 and as little as 4. It was funny. One of the first months we did this, we did one on lead generation, and that's when we had like 30 or 40 people that came out to that. And everyone's like, is Jeff Cohn really going to share like all of his lead gen techniques? And for anyone that knows me, if you guys have been watching this podcast, I share every detail of everything. Like I'm completely transparent. It's like, it'd be like if someone digs holes for trees. I've dug a hole 3 feet wide, 6 feet deep to plant a tree with my dad. If I had to explain to people how to dig these holes, and I was worried that they were going to like take over my job if that was like my business, I'd be laughing my way to the hole because I know what it takes. And so it's the same thing when it comes to what we've built out with Omaha's Elite. I'll tell everyone what I've done because usually 99% of the people are like, well, screw that. I almost dropped an F-bomb. I never cuss on this. Screw that, right? I don't want to go through all that work. So I don't want to scare people away with this strategy, Matt. The thing that I think made this easy for us was we were already doing trainings. And so we were like, why wouldn't we open up our office? We're already doing this. Now it's a matter of defining who do we want to invite? Because you might say, well, let's just invite everybody. And that's fine if you want to do that. But we wanted to be laser focused. And if we were going to spend money on ads and time and energy and calling and direct dialing and texting, Facebook messaging, and emailing, we wanted to be laser focused on who we thought were the most likely group to potentially one day join our real estate team. So the funny thing, going full circle here, we did the lead gen, had about 40 people come. The next month, I was like, everybody come back. It's all going to be focused on lead conversion. What to do with the leads once you get them so you can make money off of them. And we had 2 people come.
Well,
can you believe that? And we did all the same marketing. We targeted the people that had come.
Oh, that's a delightful little microcosm of real estate, isn't it?
Isn't it hilarious? Like everyone wants to know how to get leads, but nobody wanted to go to the 1-hour training on how to work an internet lead or a lead period. What's the best lead follow-up strategies? Like I've got a great training on that. 2 people. So I was like mind blown. Like that taught us a lesson right there. Like everyone wants the sexy, easy thing. Nobody wants to know how to dig the hole. Nobody. They wanted to know how to buy the shovel, where to buy the shovel, what store, what kind of shovel to buy. They didn't want to learn about how to dig.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's interesting. We've been between Real Estate Uncensored and other podcasts and this podcast and stuff like that. We've been talking to a lot of people, and so things are coming down the pipeline that are going to push the agent's role further down the funnel for that exact reason. Because they're so reluctant to do anything that will actually work the lead that now people are creating the software where AI and machine learning will step in and convert the lead for you because the agents aren't doing it.
Give more value to the client, to the consumer, than
and probably take a bigger chunk.
Absolutely,
and probably take a bigger chunk. So that's interesting. So obviously lead generation was a big topic. So you can do all the marketing, right? And this is true of any event, but in the end, the big idea, the hook of the event is still critically important. So
Absolutely.
did you guys continue to do more events on lead generation? Did you lick your wounds and move on to something else? Like what have you found that has worked consistently?
Yeah, people love the lead gen one. People love learning like strategies around how to host an open house. So anything more
Yeah,
specific with lead gen, it's like open
lead
house,
gen.
outbound dialing, how to use virtual assistants. Um, Negotiation was a really good one. We got a lot of people to that. The right way to negotiate a deal to save your client time and
Really?
money. Yep.
Okay,
Which
that's
was a
good.
work one, but I think that one got a pretty good following. I like to change them up. I mean, these trainings were also the trainings we're offering Elite Real Estate Systems clients, so we can't do like the same thing every time unless we switch the time, but we like to do it all together. So like my trainings every week are going out to that literally thousands of people watch them every Wednesday, Friday. For anybody that doesn't know about that product, that's our Elite Real Estate Systems live stream training for agents, $17 a month. You get 8 hours of content a month in training. So we do that every Wednesday, Friday. Then our agents are accessing this training in person and via live stream. And then once a month, we're streaming it to everybody that's in that other page. So we've got a lot of different purposes for hosting our trainings. So we have to make sure that they continually are fresh and new. And I don't want my team to become bored of the content either. And I think that's brokerage's biggest challenges. Their trainings are designed for entry level agents and onboarding. They've done a very poor job at getting into like their trainings 2.0 for an agent that's been in the business for a year or two. And that's where I think our team has really excelled. So as you think about the training content you offer, you have to have one level of training for new agents that don't know the business and a whole nother level of training for agents that have already been in the business a long time and do know it. And one of the things that has helped us do that in a unique way is we have what we call our subject matter experts. I think people call them SMEs, I've heard a couple of times. But essentially, we take our subject matter expert who, let's say someone just is awesome with open houses, and I'm not just saying thinks they're awesome, who on our team had the most sales last year from open houses. We track that. That person has to do a training on open houses at least every quarter. So we have people that are short sale experts, flippers, rental property management got people, new construction, condos, lake houses, golf course communities, outbound prospecting experts. Like you think it, we have the expert on our team who's been denoted as the expert to teach and train on that topic. So I know a lot of people out there listening are like, well, that's great. Jeff Cohn has all these trainings and you've got this whole system. How am I supposed to recreate that? Pick one thing you think you're good at. It could just be your open house strategy or your listing presentation, like something you're already doing, and do a training on it. Invite people to come watch you teach how you do it. And you'll be surprised, like you don't give yourself enough credit. There's something you're doing that's different than most of the people in your marketplace. That's why you're successful. Pick that one thing and have a training, invite people out. It's not as hard as it might appear to be. If you've never done it before, just do it.
Yeah, I'll give you a simple breakdown. So like let's say you do like rotate these quarterly, right? So every quarter do like one training. So we're talking about 3 months in a quarter. You only need three topics or three umbrellas, right? So one would be lead generation. So you go deep on some aspect of lead generation. Do something that's operational based, like saving time, virtual assistants, or hiring your first assistant, or how to leverage a transaction coordinator or something like that. And then the third thing would be personal development, and just do something around that. That would be a very easy. So lead gen, operations, personal development. You can just cycle and
rotate through
recycle those three topics and just do something a little bit different spin on them. I think as leaders, we get bored of our own content a lot faster than the audience does. So we have to keep that in mind, that it's part of the challenge of being a leader is finding new ways to say the same things.
Yeah, I go to all these conferences all over the country, and obviously I'm wanting to talk about I don't even want to talk about real estate. Ooh, can I admit that on a podcast?
Yeah, you want to talk about ancillary business.
I'm like excited to talk about my flipping business and the next multifamily deal I'm investing in or trips that I go on. But people will come up to me and they want to talk about lead generation. Like they're like all jacked up about lead generation. And I no longer talk specifics. I mean, I'll tell anyone anything they want to know, but I talk about patterns. I love looking for patterns. And so I like to train people on how to find patterns regarding lead gen, patterns on conversion, patterns on accountability, the different cultural patterns that teams exhibit that help them succeed at a higher level than another team. Those are fun conversations to focus on. So I love your recommendation on how to rotate through those. If you guys want some ideas on topics, go to eliterealestatesystems.com, click on live stream and learn more, and you'll see all of the topics we train on in my office. And steal any of those topics away from us if you want. Yeah. If you are a live stream client or want to join live stream, if you join today, you'll have access to 6 months worth of our content. Go in and rip off one of our trainings. If you're not sure about how to do open house training, go watch our 1 hour long open house training, and I give you permission, steal the training and make that available to your people. So you don't even have to come up with the content if you don't want to have to. The other product I haven't spoken to is we have the team leader product that's live stream for team leaders, which gives up to 10 of your agents free access to the Wednesday, Friday topical. And then we have team leader training every Thursday for 1 hour. And I'm the coach as well as Andy Cuny. So we do 4 hours of content for team leaders once a month. And then you get that 8 hours of content for up to 10 of your agents. And that's $497 a month. And that's been going really well. We're signing up a lot of people. So if that's something you think you want to learn a little bit more about, you can schedule a call with our Vice President of Business Development, Melissa Bolt. And you can do that right from our website, eliterealestatesystems.com. Click on live stream.
Yeah, love it. And at some point we should do an episode. Maybe we'll bring Frank on for this one, but I'd love to do an episode on how to bring somebody on, like Melissa or like a Catherine on Elite Real Estate Systems team that is essentially a marketing assistant, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody who can execute the run-of-the-mill stuff, somebody that can set up the Facebook ad, somebody who can send out the email, somebody who can put the agenda together, somebody who can invite the people, because all this stuff it's awesome, and we basically laid out the entire system. The problem is the team leader doesn't have the time to do this stuff. You have the time to show up. You have the time to secure the agents to come speak. That's about all you have the time to do. And so there has to be a person.
Let's do that. That'd be a great podcast. And I think a lot of people hearing you say that are like, yeah, I would need that. And we can talk about how to pay them, how to hold them accountable, how to give them projects, how to keep them busy for a year instead of just a one-off project. I think that's a really good idea, Matt. And just a quick teaser on that. Catherine's a senior in college. She's getting her marketing degree. She's 22. She just turned 22 this week. We pay her $14 an hour, and she's amazing. She's probably one of my most valuable people. 22-year-old senior in college. She's so driven. Yeah. She's so excited. She's so willing to learn. I'm going to need to tell her to listen to this. I'm going to get some boss kudos out of this. But she's in that time of life that's just so exciting. She's so energetic, and we've sent her all over the place. Like, that's another thing. Like, if you want them to become experts at social media, send them to a social media conference. I know Frank and I last year went to VidCon, which is all about YouTube and online and social media for millennials and for tweens. I was going to say,
did you learn how to become a YouTube star to tween girls?
Yes, exactly. Right. So we wanted to see what's the software that's going to carry us into the future, and how's the next generation going to engage. But what I wanted to get at is, if you want your people to be experts, send them to expert conferences, give them expert content, both in book form, podcasts they listen to. There's so much content out there, and I think that we just are lazy sometimes as a leader. We're not doing that for ourselves, and so why would we ever do that for our people? So that's been a pattern I've implemented in my business. As you know, Matt, we've been to conferences together. I've taken Kevin and Andy along with me, and now Melissa the last 2 years. She just got back from HubSpot. We sent her to Inman. We went to Boomtown. We went to Berkshire. We're going to go to Berkshire Summit in about 3 weeks from now. By the way, if you guys are going to be in and or around Vancouver, Canada, free invite. Come on and have drinks and appetizers on me. Boomtown and I are actually splitting it, and we're going to be hosting a happy hour mingle thing around 8 o'clock on Sunday evening. It's the last day of September. I think it's the 30th. So if you guys are in that area, you want to come out, have a drink, hang out, that's an open invite to anybody. Also, a quick plug on our podcast, you guys. We do this live every week at 11. I don't know if anyone's jumped on and had questions, Matt, for us today, but one of the advantages is you can help us ask questions to the guests. So next week we have a really special guest coming up, and Dot Loop's going to be on with us interviewing that guest. We're going to be talking about shifting markets and how to prepare your team for a shifting market. So that should be a really good one. But if you haven't gone out and rated us, I really would like to see 100 reviews before the end of the year. We're almost to 70. So if you haven't rated us yet, would you please take 2 seconds, go into the podcast app on iTunes, scroll down, you'll see the 5 stars. Please select 5 stars, and then give a shout out to one of our guests or to me or Matt or I, and just kind of let us know what you think about the podcast, and let other people know why people should follow us and listen to our content and how maybe it's influenced or affected your business for the positive.
Love it. Very, very cool. And then as far as the podcast content, workshop dates, all that stuff, it's all at eliterealestatesystems.com. So make sure to check that out. Stay up with everything that we're doing. Jeff, you mentioned that you've got Jeff's business plan. Is it jeffsbusinessplan.com where they can go grab that?
Yeah. So if you go out, that's a good question. You put me on the spot with that. I do think there is probably jeffsbusinessplan.com, but just go to Elite Real Estate Systems, and then there will be a little drop down at the top to let you download that. It's free. It's the step-by-step process. Matt actually helped us create this document. It's very methodical, but it gives you essentially a step-by-steps of how we implemented the scalability of our business and kind of what to do along each step of the road. And then I think it requires you to give us your email address, and we'll probably send you podcast episodes and stuff like that. You can unsubscribe if it's content that you don't want.
Yeah.
Did Jeff's business plan work, Matt?
No, it's eliterealestatesystems.com/Jeff's business plan. But yeah, it's right up at the top of the website. So, let's see. Antonio's
Events coming
watching, Ronnie's watching. Yeah, what's up?
The workshop's coming up October 22nd, and then we have one on November 12th. I'll throw out a discount. I always do a month before. I'll give you guys, if you decide to come to either of these workshops, we want to kick off in the year strong, I'll give you 50% off. So we don't do that very often. You've probably heard me talk about that 2 or 3 times on the podcast. It's usually $29.97 for you and a guest. Gives you free access to our Facebook page. It's a private page with about 300 team leaders. And it gives you access to our Google Drive where we house all of our intellectual property. But if you decide to come to October or November's events, I'm going to give you our discount code is half off, 1/2 off, OCT for October or NOV for November, and it'll only cost you $14.97. And you can bring a guest. You'll still get all the same value add. You're going to spend a whole day with us in our office. But like Matt said, you can go on the website and learn more about it. It's amazing, guys. The feedback we've gotten, the changes people have experienced in their businesses by implementing the things they've learned in this workshop, I promise it'll change your life. So I've offered 100% money back guarantee. If you leave and say, Jeff, you didn't give me $1,500 in value, I'll write you a check for $1,500 right there on the spot. Nobody has ever asked me to do that.
No. No, it's one of the best. It's one of the best events I've ever seen for like the combination of not just inspiration, but also solid content that you can actually take home and implement. So you do something with the inspiration and the motivation that you walk away with, and it actually has a real tangible impact on your business, which is the point. So anyway, All right. So thank you, Jeff, for I know we went super deep on recruiting events, and there's a bunch of people I want to send this episode to, guys. If you're in the same boat, make sure to share it. I know there's a lot of other people that are in the same boat of trying to recruit. They don't know exactly how to reach the people that are doing less than 20 deals a year, right in that sweet spot where they're new enough to get them into your team and get them into your culture before they develop all those bad habits that you hate. So that we basically laid out the system that's working to do it. So this is I would encourage you to go emulate that, go listen back to the episode. And thanks, Jeff, for just kind of opening up and sharing.
Absolutely. And guys, there's tons of there's strategies out there. We didn't have time to get into all of them. There's probably 10 other recruiting strategies. So we'll reintroduce this topic down the road. If this is something you want to hear more about, or there's something else, don't hesitate to reach out to me on Facebook or Matt, or email us and let us know what content you'd like us to deliver for you. We can speak on anything and everything team building specific. Continue building your teams. We're excited to hear your success stories, and review us on iTunes.
All right. We'll see you on the next one, guys.